told you that there was one thing that could cure your multiple sclerosis, then they would be lying. But if somebody told you that there's something that could allow you to live better with MS, then they'd be talking about the MS reset. My name is Lawrence. I've been living with MS for over 30 years, closer to 32. And over those years, I've tried some medications, I've tried diet, supplements, brain training, you name it. Some things helped, something didn't. Eventually, my biggest improvements came from one thing that I created with that knowledge. And I created the MS Reset from all those years with MS. And it actually seems to be working. So if you're looking for honest conversations, practical MS strategies, real life updates, community, my goal with MS is basically to improve the quality of life for anybody that has MS, because this method has worked for me. So let's get right into my story. I find that's a good place to start. So basically, I was diagnosed when I was 17 years old. And that was not an easy diagnosis. It was difficult. There was a lot of testing. And in the end, the doctor went away from that diagnosis and diagnosed me with Lyme disease. And so I kind of carried on for the next 15 years, not thinking I even had MS and not having any symptoms. I really didn't. MS wasn't a part of my life for all that time, but it did come back 15 years later, and I went to a doctor, the same doctor that misdiagnosed me, and she repeated a different story now, and she said, yes, you did have MS all those years, and you do have MS right now. So that was the shot in the arm that I needed to continue on from that point and start going after the MS. I wasn't a fan of medicine. I didn't do really any DMTs for a long time. I just really started learning about diet, about exercise, about how to keep my mind straight. And what I noticed is that consistency really became the key focus. Doing the things that I was doing became the key focus, doing them at a consistent basis. But I then went on to spend about 5 years sitting on my couch, not doing anything, depressed, till finally I started doing a little bit of exercise, a little bit of mindset work, a little bit of meditation. Little by little, I started very low with just a couple of different exercises a week. I started keeping track of everything so that I wouldn't forget it. And that was the beginning of where this program came from. It really came from just having the necessity to do something and build from there. So I started doing maybe 10 tasks per month. And from there, it eventually went up to 15 or 20 tasks per month. And I was doing some different types of things, but I was keeping track of everything, and I was being consistent in the way that I was accountable to myself, because I could see what I've been doing. And even now, I can look back and see what I did week by week as I started building the MS Reset. Now that the system is built, I want to share it with you. So I want to share it with all people, with everybody who's a follower on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. I want to reach as many people with MS that I can and share this program with them and continue tracking my MS, continue tracking my routine, but do it as part of the MS Reset community, which is why at this point I've built an app and I'm building my social media presence. So why did I create the MS Reset at all? Why did this happen? First thing you need to understand is that the MS Reset wasn't created because I had all of the answers. I didn't think that I had all the answers. I'm not as knowledgeable on different subjects as other professional people are. But the one thing that I have going for me is that I've had MS for a long time. I know the ins and outs, and I can tell when something is working. It was mainly created because I couldn't find one place that combined everything that actually helped me. Because with MS, it's just so difficult and you need to work on so many different things at the same time. And I wanted other people to be able to avoid those years of trial and error that I had put into it. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what the MS reset is and what the MS reset isn't. Let's start with what it is not. The MS reset is not a cure for MS. In no means. It does not replace your neurologist. It does not replace any doc that you might be seeing. It does not promise a miracle. The only thing I can promise you is that certain symptoms that you have and that you're dealing with will improve with consistent work. Now for some positivity. Let's talk about what the MS Reset is. A structured lifestyle system for people with MS. The MS Reset is completely customizable. So that could mean the exercises that you're doing, the tasks that you're trying to complete, the amount of reps that you're doing in your exercises, the amount of weight that you're using. It's totally fine to start at 0 pounds. The MS Reset is completely flexible and adaptable for everybody, no matter what state you're at. And the MS Reset is designed for every ability level. All right, so the next section makes the entire MS Reset work, and it's based on 4 pillars. So pillar 1 is going to be movement. Movement is not just exercise. Movement can also be referring to strength training, stretching, physical therapy, occupational therapy, walking, wheelchair movement, can be balance work, flexibility. Really, it can be so many different things, but all around moving. So movement looks different for everybody and every state that you're in. Pillar 2 is going to focus on nutrition. So healthy eating, reducing processed food, having enough protein, drinking enough water, eating whole foods, and eating an anti-inflammatory diet. I'm not going to claim that any particular diet is the diet that the MS Reset follows. We take aspects of many different MS diets. Pillar number 3 deals with community. And by community, I'm a part of the multiple sclerosis community, speaking to people who are dealing with the same thing you are. And that could be with support groups, can be taking accountability for what you're doing, maybe Facebook groups, YouTube, app community, because the MS Reset app has a big community. So healing from MS is not just physical. And that's something you need to understand. That takes us to the last pillar, number 4, which has to do with mindset. Pillar number 4 has to do with mindset. And really, mindset could mean everything from accepting that you have MS, not giving up on your MS, your resilience as a person, celebrating small victories, which can be super small, and just having realistic optimism. I want to take a minute to show you how all of these pillars come together in the MS Reset app. I'm going to take you for a quick tour of the app, but inside the app, you have different sections. So it's tracking your daily habits, it's tracking your exercising, tracking your brain training and occupational therapy that you're doing. You're setting goals, you are tracking your progress. It has a whole community area where you're talking to other people also doing the MS Reset. It's completely customizable, so you pick your exercises. At the end of the month, you switch up your exercises and you continue. So the app isn't here to replace your effort. The app is really here to make consistency easier. And consistency is a main aspect of everything, of the MS Reset. People can find us and communicate through TikTok, through Instagram, through Facebook, through Twitter, and on YouTube. We're putting out shorts, some motivational videos. different things about staying a part of your community. We're going to be doing live streams. Definitely be a part of our community. And now I want to talk about what our goals are with the MS Reset. Number one, the MS Reset is not, and I'll say it again, curing MS. It's not reversing every symptom. It's not replacing medical care. The main goals of the MS Reset are to improve your strength, your mobility, your endurance, your cognition, confidence, fall, improve your quality of life, create consistency. The most important lesson in all of this is that if you only remember one thing from this video, please remember this. You do not have to do everything. You just have to do something. So some days you'll exercise, and then other days you'll stretch. Other days you may just do brain training or Kegels. Some days you'll simply encourage somebody else to make those steps. Every single one of those things counts. The number one line that we say is that consistency beats perfection every time with MS. So after living with MS for more than 3 decades, I stopped believing in miracle cures. I just take it one day at a time, because that's what the MS Reset really is. It's not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming a little bit stronger, a little bit healthier, a little more hopeful every day, and a little more than you were yesterday. In a couple of years, we'll all be thriving. Wouldn't it be great to be better next year than you are this year? So if you're ready to begin your own MS Reset, please subscribe, join the community, use the app. I promise you will not be doing so alone. I'll be right there with you, and there'll be other people right there with us also.